You're listening to the BFF, Black, Fabulous, and 40 podcast, the show that brings you real talk from women who have figured out they are too grown not to speak their truth. With your host, Crystal and Kyeesha. All right. Welcome to this week's episode of the BFF podcast, brought to you by RMK Productions. I am your co-host, Crystal.
I'm Kyeesha.
And this week, we are going to be piggybacking off of last week's discussion about men and women and dating. And we are here with our guest, Mr. X.
Who cannot be found on social. Okay, so picking up from last week, X, you asked a question or made a comment.
I did.
Let's repeat that, please.
I asked, we were talking about men being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how can a man lead you if he can't lead himself? Do you guys look at how he's leading himself?
Yes.
And Crystal was ready to answer that.
Okay, so yes, I believe that falls into where standards should be. So my standards should match his ability to lead or complement, rather. So if my standard is he needs to have a source of reliable income, and he's all over the place with his money. He doesn't know how to manage his money. He works sporadically, or when he does work, he doesn't always get paid, things like that. That to me is a standard that I should be honoring. Okay, Crystal, are you going to choose to date this man who, I'm not saying he has to be a millionaire, but he doesn't know how to manage his money. So how can he manage our finances if we were to get married?
Well, he can't. Y'all would be broke.
That's not a good example.
That's not a good answer.
That's not a good answer. Why? Okay, tell me.
If I came to you and said, hey, listen, I don't handle the money right. Why don't you handle the money? When I get paid, I give you the money. I let you handle the money.
That's different than what I was just saying. What I was saying was he's all over the place. He's in between jobs. He can't hold a job. Okay.
But what I'm saying to you is you can also turn that situation around by saying, hey, listen, you're not good with your money. So let me help you with your money. All you need to do is keep your job and I'll make it work for us.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that.
We're not all good at everything.
No, I know. Absolutely.
We're not all good at everything. I know there's certain things that I should handle, and I know there's certain things that you should handle.
So how does a man leading look?
But see, a man leading is not always what it sounds like. If you and I are in a relationship and you have a better career than I do, me leading could be me taking a back seat to you. Me leading could be me making sure that you have no stress and you're able to flourish in your career. That's a man leading. Like we have this misconception, the man pays the bills, he does this, he's the leader of the household. No, there's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
Way more to it than that. I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she has shown me as a man that I had to get certain things in order. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, the whole nine. Because I realize I'm the first man she loves, right? So if I don't give her the foundation for a good relationship, she'll never have a good relationship. I'm proof of that with my mother. So a man leading sometimes, and I've learned, is not always being in front. Sometimes you got to step back and let that woman flourish and say, I'm going to take care of everything else, no stress on you. You do you.
That goes both ways. That goes both
ways.
A woman's got to be able to do that as well. And I agree with you. Leadership in general, a good leader is not always upfront.
Correct.
Okay.
Even in nature.
Right. Even a wolf
even
pack.
Nature.
Even in different packs. There's one in the front, one in the back, right? Because we're not leaving anybody behind, and we're making sure that we're all going up or doing something, right? So, but women and men, no matter whether it's a heterosexual relationship, a homosexual relationship, it doesn't matter. They've got to realize that leadership does not always mean a dictatorship. It does not mean I'm going to do A through Z and you're going to do 1 through 12. That's not what it is. There is understanding, and it's being a team, and it is about being what I like to say, a lot of the moments that are left kind of unsaid, but like are gestures or like you said, X, about being there even as a support system.
Right.
Like can do a lot. If you are supporting my goals and my dreams, then that is not a weak position by any means. That is a strong position, and you're doing it without verbal resentment or, talking. Because let's be honest, some people, that's the one thing I hate, when people do things for each other and then want to throw it back in your face when you get mad, because then it's like, well, then why'd you do it to begin with? Then it's not genuine. But leadership, I know we know that, don't we? Leadership looks different in a relationship. It looks different. It definitely does.
You guys know, who one of my male role models is, who I would love to meet and have a conversation. You're probably never going to guess who it is.
Give us a hint.
Stedman Gray.
Oh, Oprah's man.
Stedman. Smartest man I don't know. Smartest, most secure man I don't know. I would love to talk to that man.
He's got to be.
If you really think about who he's in back of, he's a smart man. And I say that because I'm talking indirectly about you two. It's going to take a secure man to say, you know what, I am going to play the background because I know this is going to benefit us. And your business endeavors, it's going to cause problems. If he's not the right kind of guy, it's going to cause problems.
That's true.
Same for me. It's going to cause problems. People always say they can handle things, but no, they can't. Nope. Because human nature is human nature. A man has 2 girlfriends. You think that really works? It doesn't. Somebody's always going to feel slighted. Somebody's always going to want to be even. And somebody's always going to come out of pocket. You can't drive 2 cars at the same time. So it never works out. It's going to take a special man to play that role.
He's out there for me.
I want to hear what y'all got to say. Go ahead, Crystal.
I don't disagree with anything that you said. Every one of my mentors and idols that I look up to, like the Black female multimillionaires that I look up to, one, she is married. She's been married for a long time. Her husband used to be the sole provider, financially leader. Her business blew up. He stays home with the kids. He raises the kids. He cooks the meals when the chef isn't available. And she is the multimillionaire mogul. She retired him though and bought him a big ass Rolls Royce and herself a Lamborghini. That is goals.
That's teamwork.
That's teamwork right there. And that is goals.
Teamwork.
That is what I look. Now, do I know the behind the scenes of what's going on in a marriage? Absolutely not. I don't. But what is presented to me is what I aspire to have and I aspire to be. So I know he's out there for me.
The fact that you said that you don't know what's going on behind the scenes mean that they're doing it the right way.
Good.
Because if you know every detail of their marriage, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's like the young lady who, that's, you know, you see people live their lives out on social media. And then when it goes awry, you got to answer to them 200,000-300,000 people on your page about your relationship. The fact that you don't know what's going on in their marriage means that their marriage is tight. That's how I think about it.
Yeah. And just the fact at the fluidity, because obviously he was the leader initially. He was the physician, she was the nurse, you know, he was making all the money. And when her business escalated and just took over, she was like, baby, you stay home. I got you. I got this financially. The kids need you. And he was like, okay. And then what better gift to give? I mean, because we see it a lot of times in reverse. We see the man who blows up and then he's gifting his wife, you know, the car or whatever. But she went into the dealership and bought them both brand new cars. I mean, that's amazing to me. Amazing.
That's teamwork.
Yes.
If you're in a relationship and your significant other says, I think we can make $1 million shoveling horse shit, I'm gonna say, what boots do we need and what kind of shovel?
And where can I find my mask to wear?
Right, and get my mask.
Because that's that nurse in her. She's like, I need gear. I need masks. I need gloves. I need.
But I'll be there. But I will be there.
But I help you shovel shit. Yep.
with no argument.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. As long as that check shows up in the bank account on Friday, let's go. Let's do it.
I have a saying that I use, and it's the word ego. Everything goes off track. When you don't control your ego, everything goes off track. And 90% of the men, maybe higher, because of our upbringing, because of the trauma we've been through, we don't know how to control that ego. Because we were never allowed to, like we talked about the last episode, be emotional, to get, you know, to go through things and be okay about going through it without Kyeesha saying, oh, you gotta go. I got your room at Motel 6 because you cried.
They have Kleenex there. Get out.
You know what I mean?
Not the Motel 6.
Oh, she heard from that. She's like, I wouldn't put him in a Motel 6.
Even their rates are expensive now. I ain't gonna tell you how I know that. But anyway.
Yeah, so Kyeesha, what would you say about that? About you know, X had said about your ideal marriage, situationship, leadership. Like what does that look like for you?
I agree with it. I agree with the teamwork. I agree that it takes a certain type of woman and a certain type of man to make that equation work in order for it to be a successful team. I don't believe I could have done that. And I didn't have that with everyone that I've been with in a long-term relationship. I've probably only seen it maybe once, maybe twice, definitely once, maybe twice. But it also has to do with knowing yourself, knowing it's like a job interview. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? It's important to know that, because I have to know that maybe I'm not good at following directions. Okay. Or maybe I do have trust issues, because that is a huge thing, right? That a lot of people experience is they have trust issues. So it may, and being part of a team that works, there has to be trust. There has to be trust. And that might become an issue if my trust issues are interfering with us being able to move forward. You know, like I can't take that you're just going to come home and say, you know, you want to make a deal or do something, you know, you want to go into invest in a business or something like that and be like, I just need you to trust me. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can try to trust you as much as I can, but I also need to know backstory. I need to know this. I need to know that. I need contingencies. I need certain things in order to trust you. And I am able to communicate that. So like when we were talking about rules and things, like you're going to know that about me. You're going to know that if you come to me with something, you might as well say this, this, and this in order for me to completely be on board with you. You know, you need to know, just like I need to know, those intricacies, as someone likes to call them with me, those intricacies that just make us who we are, and not be judgmental, but understand. Because at the end of the day, the other thing is, in this day and age, we also can't just take what anybody says as fact, right, and it's truth. Fact. Right. You know, there's just too much at stake when doing that. So you got to give me at least a brief synopsis or something to be able to be like, okay. But then I also have been in situations with someone who I know also, they know how I am. So, and I know how they are. And we've proven to each other, because that's the other thing. After being with someone for so long, you've proven that this person or you can be trusted to make right, certain decisions or to do certain things without maybe talking to the other person. And so there are times when I know if they were to come to me and say, I need you to just trust me, don't have time for backstory right now, but I need your, support in this. And I'll say, okay, you got it. And I'll ask questions later.
That comes with experience and trust.
Exactly. That definitely comes with experience. But again, people have to know themselves and who they are working with, and have the results to be able to move like that, so I'm down with it. I'm with it. You're selling it. I'm buying it. I'm good.
I think the hardest part is this. As people, not as men and women, just as people in general, we have to learn to take that last bag of trash out and make sure we got everything in that bag when we throw it in the trash can. Yep. Not to bring anything from that trash can into the new relationship. Not to hold anything that happened from the last two knuckleheads against your new person, male or female. So that way that
happens a lot too.
Right. And that way that person has their own track record. Give that person the room to make their own mistakes without judgment, because you really don't get to know anybody until there's some adversity in your relationship or in their life. Because everybody gives you that representative, right? Everybody got their best foot forward. But until something happens, you don't really get to know that person. But you have to give that person the leeway to make a mistake, to be them, to show you the good and the bad. And that's when you should know whether you can be with that person or not.
But I guess that's the part of the dating situation that I don't like, is that representative that shows up. Like, I don't have time for the representative. Let's move forward, right? Like, it's that, what do they call that? Honeymoon period, where you start out, and we had that example, like your work wife, right? That honeymoon period is going to die real quick, right? Like, I'm doing all this stuff up front, but then later on, like, my question always is to men and women, can you keep it up though? Or are you doing it just to grab that person? And that's what I don't like representatives, because are you just showing up and showing yourself just to grab that person? Or is it genuine can you keep it up? Because that's what I want to know. Because if you're in the beginning, and that's why we always hear, right? Well, in the beginning, you used to do this and you used to do that, and now you don't do that anymore. Guess what? Because that's not them. That cooking breakfast or cooking Sunday meals, that wasn't them. Or I understand life happens, and there is an exception for that and understanding, but a lot of times people bring their representative in the first half of their relationship, and they're doing what they think is what they need to do to hook this person, but then forget what they need to do to keep that person.
Yeah.
But that comes with a person knowing themselves. That representative, like the longer a person can keep that representative up, like they're not who you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will tell you everything up front. Like I don't have time for that shit. I can't remember that shit. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. There's gonna be days I don't want to talk to you. There's gonna be days where I want to smell your feet. There's gonna be days whatever. But this is what it is. And then 6 months down the line, but you never told me. Yeah, I told you in the beginning, remember? Oh, I thought you was playing.
Right.
What is there to play about?
Right.
So you have to
Too old to be playing.
To see through it. You gotta really see through it. Like not hold your hand down because you don't know the answer. You just gotta say, listen, like you said, are you gonna be able to keep this up? Because if that's not you, tell me now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. You know? We know Crystal got a room with whips and chains, but we're not judging her on that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. That's what friends are for. I appreciate that, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Xavier, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on the past few weeks' episodes. You have been an extraordinary guest, and I'm not sure how much time we have left, but I want you to tell the listeners, because you schooled me on something a few weeks ago, and I want to school some other ladies about this because I had no idea. And then we will talk about this in a future episode. But can you tell me what it means when so I've been single since 2018 when I was divorced. So when a man asks me, how long have you been single? And I say, since 2018, I got divorced in 2018. What does a man hear when I say that, Xavier?
What does that translate
as? What does that translate?
We hear a few things.
Okay, please school the people, because I did not know this. The average
man will say, well, what's wrong with you? You've been single so long.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say, I've been doing the work, but that's neither here nor there.
Or they'll say, have you been fucking since 2018?
Right. That's what they assume.
That's what they assume. You just ain't been committed. You just been fucking.
Right. So me saying I've been single means I've been fucking.
Right. See, women don't understand how much we equate with sex. That little thing they did where they said men think about sex 90% of the time, they probably cut it by another 9%. Because that's what we're conditioned for. We're conditioned to see you all as sex first and everything else second. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, maybe she has standards and maybe she's got a career. What's wrong with her? Why has she been single so long? Oh, she just been fucking since 2018.
Or she must not like sex. That's the other one.
Well, right.
Like sex. Do you even like sex?
And I'm sure once you tell them about the room with the whips
and chains, then they run.
It's different. So it's because if I said that to you, what would your perception be? If I said, hey, Chris, I've been single since 2018, what would your perception be?
He's lying.
Man, nobody don't want him.
No, I would be like, something's wrong with you.
I wouldn't necessarily think something's wrong. I would think he's lying to impress me. He's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like something's got to be wrong. Like that's got to be a lie or something. That I'm not taking that. Now she might not be fucking.
Just jump at everything.
But I am.
I think that's enough for this episode.
So I may say I've been single. No, I'm not even going to say that I've been single for that long. I would only say that I haven't been committed to anybody, because I'm guaranteed I've been doing something in that meantime.
See, as a grown up, right? I would respect more a woman saying, you know what? I've been single since 2018. I just been fucking.
Yeah.
I would respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to take and you want to make an assumption or an opinion about me, well, then so be it. I care less. But my whole thing about that is I'm transparent. So I'm just going to put it out there. And, of course I'm safe, and I'm an adult. I'm not a child about it, but, I'm just going to be honest, and I'm not saying that even if you are and you don't say it that way, you're not being honest,
right.
But I don't want people to think that. But that's the way I'm putting it out there.
I think so when you have me back the next time, I think we need to talk about, things that hurt a relationship, like how many bodies talk and the size talk. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
We're 40 years old. Are we still having that conversation?
The what? Absolutely. I missed it. Wait, what?
No. No,
body
we're not having the body count talk.
No. Oh, body count.
No.
Who asked that?
No, not after 40. No.
Time.
No.
For what? For what purposes? Yeah, we're gonna have to do another episode.
We are not having that conversation though. I'm sorry. If you ask me that, it's none of your business. Like, I'm 40 years old. I'm experienced. I've been around the block a few times. That's all you need to know.
You know what my answer always is?
What?
Wilt Chamberlain.
With a what?
Wilt Chamberlain. What?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh Lord, that's scary.
Lord Jesus.
Don't say his name.
That was a joke. Hello.
You shouldn't use that one. You shouldn't use that one. You should not. You're right.
If you're gonna be stupid enough to ask, you got to get a stupid answer.
That is very true. I say that all the time. And that's why I don't like that question, because if you ask that, you're going to get a stupid answer. I'm going to tell you 300 people just because.
You should. You should.
Mm-hmm. 1 billion.
That thing might need an inspection sticker at that point.
6 billion to go.
I was going to say, what's the world population?
At that point. Whoa.
I got some miles.
Whoa.
Or be like, how many in this country or zip code or another country? You got to answer that with a stupid answer. I'm sorry. We're too old for them. But you're right. That is another episode. And again, we have had fun with you, Xavier. Thank you for dropping the gems that you have on another episode of BFF, Black, Fabulous, and 40. We look forward to having you again. Again, for our listeners, please put your comments down below. What's your dating experience at 40? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Are you looking for love still in all the wrong places? Tell us your stories. Tell us your story. I hate that line too. But I'm still a thugger lover. Ah! Okay, I digress. I am Kyeesha.
And I'm Crystal.
And this is another episode of BFF, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week on BFF, Black, Fabulous, and 40, with your hosts, Crystal and Kyeesha. This episode is a division of RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, you can find us at rmkproduction.net. There, you can subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode. Tell a friend to join our friend circle and get to know more about us on Instagram at The Crystal Grant and I am Clayborne.